Assalamu alaikum students. Today I am here with another video related to the early issues of Pakistan, early problems of Pakistan, and how the journey of this country began. So if you have not liked my channel, do like it, subscribe it. It's Pak Studies Pro, as you know. And if we talk about Pakistan, so on 14th of August 1947, Quaid-e-Azam became the first Governor General of the newly made country, which was Pakistan. He declared that Pakistan has come to exist forever, inshallah. And Indian leaders claimed that Pakistan was not a viable state. But there were many problems which was faced by the newly made nation. So we are going to see those problems in detail. First of all, there were geographical problems, there were social issues, there were political problems, there were problem of financial resources and military assets, accession of princely states, there were refugees and accommodation crisis, there was canal water dispute, and there were economic problems as well. We are going to see all these problems one by one in detail. So first of all, we are going to see the geographical problems. So there were two widely distant parts of Pakistan, which were almost 1600 kilometers away from each other, and between them there was an Indian territory between East and West Pakistan. So the communication was difficult between the two parts. East Pakistan was mainly consist of Bengali people, and the West Pakistan had diverse cultures like Punjabis, Balochis, Pathans, and Sindhis. And there was a very little in common between both the wings, except both were Muslims and both respected Muhammad Ali Jinnah like anything. So these were the geographical issues. Now, if we talk about the political problems, India inherited established government and infrastructure, buildings, furnishing, and even officials they had. They had expert officials. They had the guidance of Lord Mountbatten, who was an experienced politician. And in Pakistan, the first Constituent Assembly members were mostly wealthy landowners with little political experience. Geographical distance between East and West Pakistan made it difficult to govern as one country because the sense of nationhood was very difficult to inculcate. And in East Pakistan, the majority of government and army leaders came from West Pakistan. And Pakistan lacked in administration and governmental machinery and infrastructure. Now, if we talk about economic problems, Pakistan has almost mostly underdeveloped areas. Like it had 8 towns with a population of more than 100,000, and there was a 90% of rural population. Karachi was the only developed city in Pakistan at that time. So Pakistan was not at all a wealthy country. The major industry was only agriculture, and it did not produce enough except the production of jute, which was in East Pakistan, because East Pakistan at that time produced 70% of the world's jute, but it did not had a single jute mill in East Pakistan. All the jute mills went into Indian part of Bengal, and jute mills were left in India. So there were few other industries like cotton, textile, sugar, and cement. So there were many economic issues as well. Now, if we talk about the social problems, it was made up of 5 diverse regions, like 5 diverse nations were living in the single country, like Pakhtuns, Balochis, Sindhis, Punjabis, and Bengalis. They had diverse regional and linguistic groups. Nothing was common except they all were Muslims, and there was a lack of nationalism. They did not sincerely accepted Urdu as the national language, though they respected Muhammad Ali Jinnah, so that's why they kept quiet at that time. But despite government prioritizing education, the literacy rate was almost 16% in 1947. There was a low literacy rate hindered economic development, and as a literate workforce was very crucial for the progress of industry and agriculture, but it was not there. Illiteracy led to unemployment and hindered overall economic growth. And Balochistan, Bengal, and NWFP were reluctant to join Pakistan at that time. So these were the issues. Now, if we talk about the princely states issues, there were 462 princely states which had to join Pakistan or India based on their location and population composition. Mountbatten feared that if the future of these states would be uncertain, it will be resulting in granting independence. So in 1947, Dir, Swat, Chitral, Hunza, Gilgit, Kalat and Bahawalpur joined Pakistan. But there were some problem states as well, which we are going to discuss in the next slide. Problem states were Hyderabad, Junagadh and Kashmir. Let's talk about Hyderabad first. The Nizam of Hyderabad wanted an independent state, which was an impossible task. So the Nizam was Muslim, and then he wanted, as a second choice, he wanted to join Pakistan. But the population had a non-Muslim majority, so he unwillingly joined India. He signed treaty with India in respect of defense, foreign affairs and communication. But later on, Indian troops entered Hyderabad and incorporated into different provinces of India. So Hyderabad was taken by Indian government. Then the next state was Junagadh. It was a small coastal state near Karachi, and Prince was Muslim, but it had non-Muslim population majority. So blockade was imposed by the Indian government. There was a shortage of food, and then later on India took the control of that area. Indian troops took the control of that area. And the last problem state is still Kashmir. It is the most serious disagreement between Pakistan and India. It's the largest state of the subcontinent and has Muslim majority. But the Raja at that time was Hindu, and he joined India and took the help of Indian force to drive Muslims out of Kashmir. Pakistan and India's first war was on the Kashmir issue in 1948. And United Nations arranged a ceasefire and Kashmir was divided into Pakistan and India. Pakistan angered because the largest area of Kashmir, including the capital Srinagar, was given to India, and Mountbatten pressurized Nehru to organize a referendum in Kashmir to determine the will of the Kashmiri people. But till date, it has not been done. And Kashmir issue is still unresolved, and it's a most serious disagreement between Pakistan and India. So now if we talk about the division of assets issue, it was one of the major issues at that time, because assets division ratio was 17 to India and 5 to Pakistan, according to the relative size and population of both the countries. So Pakistan's share was 750 million rupees and 4 billion rupees in the Reserve Bank. 200 million rupees were paid, and then the war of Kashmir broke out. So India refused to pay until Pakistan would accept that Kashmir is under Indian possession, and India hoped that Pakistan would be bankrupt. But at that time, Gandhi's hunger strike was, he did an hunger strike for Pakistan so that India should pay 500 million immediately to Pakistan. And because when he used to do the strike, there were hundreds of thousands of followers of Gandhi used to do the same. So it was a great pressure on the Indian government. And then another 500 million were paid to Pakistan immediately. And Pakistan needed military weapons and equipment as well. So Pakistan's share was 36% and Hindu's share was almost 44%. So Muslim regiments were given to Pakistan and non-Muslim were given to India. But Pakistan had an army of 150,000 men and they needed 4,000 officers. But at that time, we had only 2,500 trained officers. So Jinnah was compelled to accept 500 British officers. He had to hire British officers. So India gave Pakistan the worn out and damaged weapons, and there was no ordnance factory, no weapon factory in Pakistan. So India had 16 factories at that time, and they refused to give any of them to Pakistan. So Pakistan, they paid Pakistan 16 million rupees to build a factory at Wah, and which was a tedious work because Pakistan at that time was lacking in the technical support as well. Then there was a canal water dispute. In Pakistan, Punjab was an agricultural hub, and the rivers were mainly coming from India, and their headworks of canals were also in India. And India promised not to interfere in the flow of water, but soon they closed two headworks, Firozpur and Madhupur, on Bali Doab Canal, and claiming that the headworks were in its territory and they can do it. So Pakistan argued on that because the economy of the country dependent on agriculture mainly. So Pakistan called the matter in International Court of Justice, but India refused to help in it. So in May 1948, a temporary agreement was signed on the conditional flow of water, and Pakistan was asked to find alternative water sources. But then World Bank also intervened in that, and the Indus Water Treaty was signed among Pakistan and India in 1960, and it gave the exclusive rights of River Indus, River Jhelum, and River Chenab to Pakistan. So we are going to discuss it in the water resources chapter. Now, if we talk about the accommodation of refugees, violence in Punjab and other provinces before and during partition was immense, and eventually on 17th of August, when Red Cliff Award was announced, many people in Punjab were shocked to know that they were living in the wrong country. So over 10 million of Muslims were forced to migrate to Pakistan. They were attacked by Hindus and Sikhs, and 2 million were only came to Karachi in those some days. So Pakistan had limited resources at that time to provide shelter and medical care to all the refugees, and it was a massive burden on the newly created and underdeveloped country. Now, if we talk about the formation of the government, Pakistan faced significant challenges in 1947 because of the absence of the central government. Muhammad Ali Jinnah became the first Governor General. Liaquat Ali Khan became the first Prime Minister and formed the cabinet. A constituent assembly was established to draft Pakistan's future constitution, and Karachi became the capital, with central secretariat set up to govern. Experienced individuals from India were relocated to Karachi, and initial offices were makeshifts, lacking furniture, there was less equipment, and there was very less trained staff. Despite challenges, Jinnah and Liaquat Ali Khan successfully established functioning ministries and civil services, drafting the rules for the administration as well. So in this chapter, we have in detail discussed that what were the problems of the newly made country, Pakistan, and how Muhammad Ali Jinnah, with his wise vision, he was able to conquer all the issues in a very better way. Thank you so much. Inshallah, we'll see you in the next video.